Hey everybody, welcome to your next week's study. Um, you would think if I started this video I'd have some thoughts. I do. Sorry about that. Your workload this week is going to be a little bit smaller. The assignments are a little bit less work. There's actually fewer chapters to read, and so hopefully you can enjoy that. I love the chapters. Now I know that's a shock to come from me that I love chapters from the Book of Mormon, but I love the chapters you're studying. You've had 2 full weeks with the Savior in the Americas. You've made it through that first day of him in the Americas, and now the section that you're looking at today is you're going to 2 different times. He's going to administer the sacrament, and we're not going to just learn how to do that or who it should be for, but there's some wonderful blessings that come from partaking the sacrament. One time, totally miraculously provided that sacrament, and so. Pay attention to that as you're studying throughout the week, what you learn about the sacrament. I'd also say the last chapter this week is an Isaiah chapter, which it's not one that's hard to understand. At least I'm hoping. I think most of us can understand. It's talking about the promised land, about Zion, and so in your mind, whether you're picturing a group of people, God's chosen people, or literally the land, the promised land, you're going to see some understanding of what is going to happen here in the Americas. Some experiences. That's not the right word. Events, sorry, that are going to happen that are going to lead up to the second coming of Christ. And so it's wonderful that he's there with them and he's teaching them and he gives them an ordinance to say, this ordinance is something that you're going to do to remember me and I'm coming back. And so it's pretty cool stuff. What if I could give you a heads up about an assignment that will be next week on week 10? Just glance ahead at that assignment. It's called the 10 Principles assignment. What you're going to do is you're just going to consider all the things that you've studied thus far in the Book of Mormon. You're going to identify 10 principles that you will do a PowerPoint assignment on a couple of weeks from now. So all you're doing is identifying the principles. You're going to submit those to me, and then I get to look through them all and say, looks great, or number 3 isn't a principle. So just get your mind, thinking about principles. A principle in its most easy form to understand, it's a truth that you can act upon. Whether you lived 1,000 years ago, or you're living today, or you're going to live 1,000 years in the future, it's a truth about God that you can act upon. A couple of simple examples. In the Book of Mormon, you've heard it a bajillion times. If you love me, keep my commandments. That's not in the Book of Mormon. That's the theme this year. Oh, that's embarrassing. I'm going to leave the embarrassing in here so you can laugh at me. What's throughout the Book of Mormon is if you keep the commandments, you're going to prosper in the land. And so, man, that was funny. That was very embarrassing. The principle is there's usually an action, and then there's that effect, right? This cause, something I do, is going to bring this effect. So again, if you keep the commandments, you're going to prosper in the land. If I say my prayers, God's going to answer that knock, and it shall be answered. You could also say something, if you're thinking about Nephi, he didn't know what he was going to do beforehand when he goes into to get the gold plates, but he knew, right, the Lord is going to provide a way. And so I will be obedient because the Lord will provide a way. So again, always look for something that you could do, and then there's typically some type of result connected to that. Those are principles, and identify 10 of those, and fill out that assignment for the coming week. I'm still laughing at myself. I hope you have a wonderful week. Enjoy the readings. Enjoy that maybe they're not as long, and enjoy a little communication with the Lord. I'll see you.